ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालां पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातदं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य शतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, सम्मल भक्तवृंद की जय। Hare Krishna.
Hare
Let
Krishna.
me see if I'm recording. Yes, it's recording. Hare Bol. 8 to 12 progressive essays of bhakti. So we started this chapter 2 weeks back, I will say, or 3 weeks back. And this is chapter talking about devotional service. So in this chapter, Krishna has very formally proven that bhakti is the most sublime process. So we have gone through 12 verses. But in last class, I felt that there was some confusion and many of you were not clear with the flow. So I made a PowerPoint slide and I'll try to spend some more time because it's very important that we understand this concept, what is being spoken here from verses to 12. So from 1 to 8, Krishna is talking about Bhagwan feature, which personal feature, which is superior than impersonal form. Impersonal form is the goal for Jnani and Dhyani, and personal form is goal for Bhakta. Krishna recommends that his personal form is better. And then we talked about what are the different stages of devotional service as Krishna is presenting through series of verses. And then the last few verses are talking about once we have the devotional service, then what are the quality that will manifest in us. So today my goal is to finish this chapter. So you have seen this slide many times. I have shown it. This is just a standard order that's presented in Bhagavad Gita up to chapter 6, which is talking about Ashtanga Yoga. It starts with Karma Kanda and goes all the way up to Ashtanga Yoga. At this stage, one has to be fully liberated from karma sannyas, but still there is desire for Gyan. When one is free from Gyan Karma Navritam, when one is free from Gyan and Karma, then one comes to the stage of your devotional service, and then that devotional service will be ultimately liberating from the cycle of birth and death. So, a series of verses here where Krishna is talking about Asmaranatmika Bhakti, and Asmarana is basically Asmarnam. So, Manana is Mananam. So, Asmaranamatmika Bhakti, Mananamatmika Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti, then Karya Bhakti, then he talks about Niskam Kari Yoga. And then in verse number 12, he summarizes what he has spoken from 8 to 11. So I'm going to present that in a presentation format. And please pay attention to it, okay? It's very, very important. And try to use the knowledge that you have to understand this slide. So I just break it, in different segments so that I can explain you. So in verse 8, Krishna says that Asmaranam Atmika Bhakti is the topmost, where one is always remembering Krishna and never forgetting Krishna. So Asmaranatmika Bhakti is the goal. But if one cannot do Asmaranatmika Bhakti, then one should do Mananatmika Bhakti. And even if one cannot do Mananatmika Bhakti, then one should try, practice Abhyasatmika Bhakti. So all these theory stages are internal stage. Like, one has to be very internally very advanced to practice these stages. And these are on the stage of mind. So Krishna says that if you cannot basically do asmanatmika bhakti, do mananatmika. If you cannot do that, then do abhyasatmika or abhyas bhakti. But even if you cannot do that, if you cannot do bhakti on a stage of mind, then use your external senses. So then he says that Kara Rupa Bhakti, work for Krishna. And that's been spoken in verse number 10, and that's external. So you can see that from internal, one can come down to external when one is engaged working for Krishna. So mind and senses. But either external or internal bhakti, one has to have some degree of faith and no offenses, no offensive mentality. Because asmanatmika bhakti, mananatmika bhakti, abhyas bhakti, these are very powerful stages. So in order for one to do bhakti, one has to have some shraddha. And with that shraddha, one has to have some desire of making no offense against the devotee, name, form, quality, pastime, no offense against anything. But if one cannot do any one of these things, then Krishna says that then that person is here, the Niskam Karma stage. And at Niskam Karma stage, one has to perform the activity of Varnashram. Okay. So if you look at this slide here, Niskam Karma is Sakam Karma, right after that Niskam Karma. And then there is Niskam Karma too. So he's talking about blend of both here. I wanted to make it clear. So one has to come to Niskam stage. And this stage, one is acting for Krishna. Okay. But if one cannot do anything because they don't have sufficient faith or does not have sufficient nishtha, then one can again follow this path here. Niskam Karma Yoga is for the purification of heart, level 1. Once heart is purified, then they can come to a higher stage and they can perform Gyan Yoga or Astanga Yoga. So that's what is being said here. If you fail to even do Niskam Karma, then even if you fail to act externally, then come to this Niskam Karma stage and again purify your heart and strive for Gyan. And that Gyan ultimately will lead you to the stage of meditation where you can meditate on the Brahman or Bhagwan form of the Supreme Lord. Because by that meditation, automatically there will be purification of the heart and you would be able to completely detach from the material world and achieve eternal peace. So that's how the process is presented. So if Dhyan Yoga, if you this is Prabhupada explanation, if you fail doing Dhyan Yoga, that means you have to come back again to Niskam Karma. So if Gyan performing Niskam Karma Yoga does not lead to Gyan Yoga or Dhyan Yoga, that means your heart is not sufficiently purified. Then you continue practicing the Niskam Karma Yoga, which is called here as a Tyaga, because that will lead to ultimate peace slowly. So that's how the ladders are presented. The steps, the arrow that you'll see, I'm starting downward. So it's coming from top, going down, 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 like that. So that's how it's presented. So this step
Recording
is
in progress.
common, but there is two explanation given. This is the one that I just talk here, That's presented by Baldev Vidyabhushan and Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada very much followed Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary. But there is another explanation which is presented by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that from Abhyas Yoga, Gyan Yoga is superior. And Gyan Yoga is referring to Manana Bhakti. So from Sadhana Bhakti, Manana Bhakti is superior. And from Mananam, Smarnam Bhakti is superior, which is we just saw here. Smarnam Bhakti. And then he's saying that Asmarnam Bhakti, if you have a spontaneous attraction for Supreme Lord, then it will develop detachment, and that detachment will completely lead to peace. So just different way of explaining it, but ultimately that's how the order is presented, which is going through verse number 8 to 12. Now my question to you is, are you clear on this? Is it clear or not? And make sure that you have give some thought before asking questions. Don't say that I didn't understand. Make sure that you are putting your knowledge that you have learned so far together to try to connect the dots, and then tell me what your doubts should be very technical or logical doubt. That's what I'm trying to say. You clear or not? Somebody has to say something. Can you turn the camera on, please? It's better. I think it's better if we be more interactive, please. You don't know how much time I give to this thing going. It's just the good fortune that we are doing this with me, because I put a lot of time, and the way I present and information that I give is very power. I know how important it is. So please show some respect to it and ask me questions if you have. What is what is doubt? Is it clear now? At least say yes or no, whatever you like to say.
Yeah. It's much clearer than last time,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
I felt that. I can gauge that. Because the questions were not coming clear. That means I knew that devotees are not getting it. I'm doing it for so many years, so I can understand. I thought, okay, let me present, in a little bit pictorial format. So that's what it is. Asmanatmika Bhakti Satatam Asmanam Vishnu Vishmartavena Jatsut. That's the goal. We want to come here. But if not, then Mananatmika Bhakti, meditate. If not, then Avyas Yogena Juktena. If not, then act Karya Rupa Bhakti. If not, then that means we can't use our mind and senses. We don't have enough faith. Then come and engage in Varnashram, action of the Varnashram Dharma. And then let your heart purify. Then again, Gyan and Dhyan, and finally see if you can come back and start doing the Abhyas Bhakti. Start from here, like that. This is very important as I see it, because this chapter itself is very important. Okay, so anybody has anything? So we have 6 or 7 verses to go. These verses I think we can read together. I did a little bit last class, but let's do it from top. So who would like to read? We'll just read the translation, and it's just kind of, knowing what are the qualities, 31 qualities one will develop when one is practicing bhakti. That's what is being mentioned here. So we can start reading.
I can start, Prabhu. Hare
Please,
Krishna.
Mataji. Dandavad, Hare Krishna. Please read, Mataji.
13 to 15, Prabhuji, 13 to 15.
Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Qualities that endears one to Krishna, not envious towards anyone, including the envious. That is friendly to all, kind, merciful to all, free from sense of proprietorship, free from false ego or identification with body, equal in happiness and distress, giving and tolerant, satisfied always in devotional service, self control, determined, mind and intelligence fix on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. No one is agitated by him. He is not agitated by anyone. Equipoised in joy and distress, fear and anxiety. Such a devotee is very dear to me.
Wow, Krishna is saying that. So we have to be dear to Krishna. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Or if you like, you can read, or somebody else can read.
I can read it.
Hari Hari.
18 to
You can read
16 to
verse
18.
also, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. 18, 16 to 18 qualities that endear one to Krishna. Anapeksh, Anapeksha Shutirdaksha 15. Neutral, devoid of all expectations from his work. 16. Pure, clean. 17. Expert, skillful in all situations. Udasino gata vyataha. 18. Without cares, unattached to uh, material persons. 19. Free from all pains, as free from all designations. Sarvarambha Parityagi. 20. Free from all material endeavors. Yo Madbhakta Same Priya. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Yona Hrishyati Na Dveshti. 21. Neither rejoices nor grieves. Na Sochati Na Kankshati. 22. Neither laments nor desires. Shubh Ashubh Parityagi. 23. Renounces all auspicious and inauspicious things. Bhaktiman Yasame Priya. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Samashatraucha Mitrecha. 24. Equal to friends and enemies. Tatha manapamanayo sitoshna sukha dukkheshu. 25. Equipoised to all dualities, honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress. Sama Sangha Vivarjita. 26. Always free from contaminating association.
We can
So,
finish all qualities and then we can have some discussion.
okay. Thank you. 19 and 20. Qualities that endear one to Krishna. Tulyanindastu Tirmani. 27. Equal in criticism and praise. 28. Silent, that is, speaks only essential topics. Santushto yena kenachit. 29. Satisfied with whatever comes of its own accord. Aniketas Thirmatir. 30. Doesn't care for any residence. 31. Steady in mind, fixed in knowledge. Bhaktiman me Bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Such a devotee is very dear to me. ये तु सर्वा ये तु धर्मामृतम idam yathoktam paryupasate. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and completely engage Shraddhadhana Matparama with faith, making me the supreme goal. Bhaktas te ativa me priya. Such devotees are very, very dear to me.
So Krishna has spoken about 31 qualities here, from 1 to 31. And out of these 31 qualities, this can be basically categorized in two segments: Sharup Lakshana and Tatarch. Tatarch Lakshana. So Swarup and Tatastha Lakshan. Swarup Lakshan is basically Bhakti itself. So uh, Bhakti is principal symptoms. One has to come to that stage to take bhakti with faith. And when bhakti is awakened and one is performing bhakti, then the tatastha lakshana, the secondary quality, will automatically manifest in person. So study, so all of these qualities that you see here, like not envious or friendly to all, free from sins, equal in happiness, self-control, determined, mind intelligence, no one is these are secondary quality, which means it's developing in the devotee based on degree of advancement one has made. So if you are saying one is very cautious to not agitate the mind of others and also not being agitated by others, then that person has definitely, this higher quality and he's very dear to Krishna. So these qualities, one should not think that one has to, and that's why it's very important to talk here because this quality we don't have to endeavor separately. Okay, now I got the self control, so I want to be self satisfied. I want to be more determined. I want to, fix now my mind and intelligence on Krishna, like one by one. It's not like that, fix mind and fix it on me. That's basically annavilasita sunyam, right? So that's symptom of the bhakti. I mean, that's basically one of the anga of the bhakti out of we studied that in later chapters in Nectar of Devotion. So while we are engaged in bhakti, automatically these qualities will arise, like being neutral, pure, clean, pure or clean, or expert, right? All of these qualities. So anybody would like to talk about any one of these quality? What is your understanding, realization? How you think about? Do you think that these qualities are manifesting in you?
Well, I mean, uh, Prabhu, the only thing I can think of, Prabhu, is when we know that Krishna is behind everything, and like he's he's behind, like Nato Natya Tharo Yatha, as Tulsi Maharani says, that he's behind everything here. So if we realize that and or are we aware of it all the time, then we can probably be fixed in this. Then these qualities will automatically manifest,
Mm.
because equanimity can only come when we understand that bad time, there is no real bad time, because bad time is also actually created by Krishna, and Krishna is my best friend, so therefore he cannot do bad. So complete faith in Krishna in the bad time will
It's a
give
very
the
good
equanimity.
point you are making. Very good, excellent point you are making. Yes. So Prabhu is basically saying that this quality is outcome of your realization in process of bhakti. So if you don't realize that Krishna is behind, samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labte param, you know, all of these living beings are part and parcel of Krishna. So if one has awakened their love for Krishna up to that extent, where one is realizing that pain and pleasure is coming from Krishna, then one is able to see things as it is. And this ahimsa, non-violence, not hurting other living being, is outcome of that realization. How come they are living being? They also have soul. I feel the pain. They feel the pain. Very good point Prabhu made. These are outcome of one's realization, such as coming to the stage of equanimity. How you can come to that stage of equanimity? Try your hard. You cannot come. We are very biased for our family versus somebody who is not outside of our family, who is outside of our family. We are very biased for somebody who is from our country versus outside of country. We are very biased for the people who are from our state versus out of state. We are very biased for the people who are in my district from outside of district. I'm very biased for the people who are in my neighborhood versus outside of neighborhood. So all of these degree of layers are there. How one can come to the state of equanimity? Good point. Very good point. One has to realize that. Yes. Anything like that? Anybody would like to share some thought?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Dandot Mataji.
So, um, I just wanted to add a few points
Yes,
here.
Mataji, please.
Realization of Krishna, even though we understand that Krishna is behind everything, and we have all the shastric knowledge about bhakti and everything, but in isolation, it's hard for a material, like person who has been in the material world, they like it's hard for him to continue that with that love, because unless we get an association of bhakt, other pure bhakti bhaktas, it's like a retraction. Retraction can take place to the
Mm-hmm.
material world.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Good
So
point.
association and continuously meditating upon, like, because being in this material
I
world,
got
it's
it.
not
Yes.
possible for us to totally isolate ourselves, but
Good point.
association gives faith and firmness to our whatever
Yes.
gyan we have.
Yes. So what you were trying to say, Mataji, if I put it in a context, that anga of bhakti has to be followed. Like for example, association is one of the anga of the bhakti. So
Yes.
bhakti should be followed by following the angas of the bhakti. And if we are following the angas of the bhakti, then this quality will manifest. For example, if we just get quiet, close ourselves in a room, and then try to uh, practice bhakti, then it's a little difficult because it's not recommended. Kaljug Sangha Shakti. So association, which ultimately leads to following the angas of the bhakti in association of devotee, or association of devotee itself is a anga of the bhakti. Yes, very nice point. Anything else? You said you were make a couple of the points.
No, Prabhu, that's it.
Good. Anybody else like to share anything? Some thought? Bhaskar Prabhu, please.
Prabhu,
Spot thought. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I,
Yeah.
I just want, like, one more point. Since I had a very recent encounter, so I think seeing a dying person is very helpful to affirm all these things, all this teaching that is given in Krishna consciousness. Detachment and focus on the Lord. You're not the controller, everything. So you know what I mean. So,
Yeah, but this is at the stage of emotion. When emotion will mature, it's hard for me to say this, and it might be hard for you to believe it or take it as it is. But Krishna says here that sama dukha sukha, he's equal in both happiness and distress. He says here, yona harshati na dveshati. He is not so super rejoicing, and he's not taking the grief. Na shochati na kanchati. He's not really. So you are right. When we see the our near and dear passing this body, we do have that emotions comes, and that's very, very basic symptom of human being. But at the same time, we understand Kal Karmena Mahata, Kal and Karma is prominent, and they are deciding and they are awarding the living being. And if one has performed bhakti, then we know that that person has a bright future. The person, is leaving this body, getting into a different body, or maybe going back to Krishna. Is Krishna's plan. So, not to make it difficult or not to discourage, but Nestare Gunna Bhava Arjuna, bhakti with proper understanding will bring us to this point where we'll develop detachment. And that's what is being, said here. That's what, is being mentioned here. That if you are engaged in Asmanatmika Bhakti, then at due course of time, automatically you'll have detachment. But again, the stage where you and I are might be hard to buy into it, but bhakti will lead to that point. And it's not forced, it's not something that is immature, pakwa, it's fully mature, it's fully under the wisdom of bhakti or under complete knowledge of, who we are and who the Lord is. That affirmation comes. It's very matured at that stage. You don't have this feeling of am I right or wrong. Rather, you are firmly, that's nistha. Nistha stage. We'll talk about that when we are not basically giving a second thought. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarvakara Siddhihaya. But you are 100% right, Mataji. Am I get affected? Yes. All of us get affected. But at the course of time, we'll understand. Yes. Meanwhile, we have to have the emotion and care. And we have to, bhakta doesn't mean we don't care the physical body. What it says here, see, he's Suchir, he's Daksha, who is expert, skillful in all situations. Do you see here, Mataji? It says Daksha. So a devotee is not someone who is lagging anything. Rather, he's expert in dealing with every situation with perfect understanding. But at the same time, he's udasino. He's neutral. Dasin means neutral. Okay, my dear Lord, that's your desire. I want to hear one or two before I switch the topic. Yes, Prabhu. Bhaskar Prabhu, I see your box is telling me that you are saying something.
Yes, so it's I don't have these qualities. I think once you fully surrender to Krishna, then it's very easy to cultivate these qualities. But even though in this material world, even though if you try to very kind to everybody, sometimes it's very hard also.
Mm,
Even though you want to do it, most of the material situation it won't allow, because
mm,
apart from these the qualities which we had, it was coming from our childhood, right? It's very hard to
mm,
give the affection to other people
mm,
apart from our family. These are the very great qualities. I don't know how to cultivate these qualities.
I got it. Yes. So that's why it says that it takes, or I want to rephrase it a little bit differently.
Yeah. So one to understand you, one has to be for for one to understand how spiritually advanced you are, one has to be spiritually advanced. Less advanced people cannot understand your spiritual advancement. They will mistreat you, they will undertreat you, they will push you down, they will, see that you are not there. That happens. That happens. That's very common. Because unless and until one is not spiritually advanced, they cannot see where you are. Madhma Adhikari will study that later. Madhma Adhikari has prema, maitri, daya, nirpeksha, or so he will know who to love, who to do compassion to, who to associate to, and who to discard. So this is also a process of advancement. And in that process, we have to understand, like we are in the association of devotee, we try to practice this uh, respect, who to respect, who not to be respect, and all of that. But when we get outside, we have to practice uh, saving ourselves. And in that case, we can ignore certain thing. We can not get part into certain thing which we know is going to impact my understanding. So that's the stage of Madhmadhikari. Madhmadhikari will bow down to Supreme Personality of Godhead, will do prema to Supreme Lord, and he will do friendship, matri to equal. And one who are innocent, but maybe that person does not have sufficient knowledge of Krishna consciousness, but that person has a pure intent, good intent. Prabhu, can you please tell me how this thing happens? I would like to know this more. Submissive. Then he would see that, okay, this person has a genuine desire, he will help. But if somebody is trying to be so smart unnecessarily, "Ah, I don't believe in this and I don't believe that, you guys are emotional, this and that," then let's go, try your best. He will stay away from that type of person. But once we get to the Uttmadhikari stage, then there is no distinction. He sees all living beings are part and parcel. That's higher stage. So how we reflect with the surrounding, that's the very concise answer of the question that you asked, Prabhu. How we interact with the surrounding is also indication of our advancement. Sometimes, devotee will act differently, seeing who is around, what their personal expectations are, and he will deal with the situation. If you'll see pure devotee, he will act on that stage. But for all of that, one has to have those insights, or one has to have that proper understanding of bhakti. If intent is pure, and if one is striving for that pure devotion, in the Dati Buddhi Yogam Tam Tena Mamupyanti, Krishna says that I give them the intelligence by which they can come to me. So yes, we have to be very expert in judging the situation that is around us, and be be equipped or prepared to deal in a way that you just don't get affected. Get out of there. Don't harm. Don't agitate anybody's mind. Here he says, Yashman no udvijate loko. No udvijiteo. Udvijite. He does not udvij. Does not agitate. Udvignamana. Lokan na udvijite shaya. And to that person, chaya, or to that person, the material world also cannot agitate. See, the answer is right here. Bharat 12 and 13 says that. So we have to come to that stage. Meanwhile, practice is cautiously and carefully. Yes. Any last one? Brinda Mataji, or let me see who else are on the call.
Yes, Prabhuji. As everyone said, this is very hard to follow in this material world, but I want to share how we have to see equally to friends and enemies. Because, because if we see our enemies also, like what Krishna said, we have to see equally everyone, and Krishna is present in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. So if we understand that point, then we can see our friend and enemies. But again, it is very difficult to see them equally in this material world. This is very, very hard. But we have to understand that Krishna is in everyone's heart, and we all are part and parcel of Krishna.
Hmm. So recommendation is given that if you want to keep a plant green that has multiple branches, twigs, leaves, flowers, seeds, there are a lot of diversity on a tree. But all of that entire tree can be nourished by pouring water at the root. Very famous example you would have heard thousands times. So as a devotee, our goal is to very intensely follow the bhakti process, like chanting the name of Krishna, getting up in the morning, doing Guru Ashtakam, and then Tulsi Puja, then chanting our rounds, Guru Puja, Darshan, taking part in the Bhagavatam class or hearing Bhagavatam classes. These are the dues. And as you can see here, that's why I put this thing here, that bhakti is main occupation. So all we are trying to do is that we are formally and with determination fixing ourselves in practicing the bhakti. And by doing bhakti, the secondary symptoms will come. So at this stage, I might not be able to see everybody equal, but that's not I'm really working on all the time. I'm working on reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, chanting name of Krishna, being part of uh, devotee association. Those are the things, 64 anga of the bhakti that will come later. Those are the things that we are trying to invest into. Okay, we are right now doing Bhakti Sastri. Bhakti Sastri is just the means. The goal is to come into together in association and awaken our consciousness, hear from each other, enlighten each other, so that we can remove some impurity. Every time I teach this course, I learn, always learning. That's the one of the reason I'm doing this course, because it gives me opportunity, it reminds me again and again these things. I'm reading it again and again. So that's more important. Now, this quality is sane, sane, karme, karme. It will come. If my bhakti is pure, if I am striving for pure devotional service, if my heart is always crying for that love, Krishna will take me there. He will take me there. So yes, very difficult to try this. These are secondary symptoms, and trying to work on secondary symptoms will be very, very difficult. Like trying to keep the tree alive by pouring water on the branches or twigs or trees, or or fruits or seeds. Rather, we have to pour. So main thing is that all of this discussion should lead to the point where how much fire we have for bhakti, how much fire we have to rush towards Krishna's feet. That's the recommendation. Want to say something, Mataji, as a follow up?
Yes, Prabhuji, but still at some situation, even if we do, even if we do chanting every day, even if we do, if we association with devotees, sometimes if we went to not our temple, but I'm just saying in India, if
Yeah.
we went to temple, some other place, they look for money, and they, if they give money, they will take them into front to Krishna. If someone didn't give money, they will push them to the back. So how do we handle those situations? Because even though we see,
Just see it, just see it, and don't be upset about it. Don't be upset about it. Don't get too much caught up by that, because this material world has been existing. And what happens if you are not here?
yes,
And what happens if you are here and you again have to see that in a more suffering condition? At least right now you are able to go and see it. Next time maybe you would not, even getting that opportunity. So there are so many, permutation and combinations, right?
yes,
Life, this material world, you and I cannot bring it to the perfection. When our six Goswamis was on this planet, Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopal Bhatt Raghunath, there was a lot of temples being broke by Aurangzeb and Mughal. Mughal time was there. What did they do? They did whatever they can do. Today we are chanting their name, Jai Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. So bhakti is basically we have to do our best, whatever best we can do within the course of Guru Shastra and Sadhu, and that's the best. That's we can do best. Don't worry too much about solving the problem of the entire world. Somebody can right now it's going on, right? Fights going on. People are in their house, somebody is bombing them, they are getting killed. My dear Lord, what can I do if somebody, but I wanna, one of the prayer that I do, my dear Lord, one thing if you can do for me, if you at least little bit think that I have some devotion, please don't let me die, in forgetfulness of you. When I'm dying, please give me that opportunity where I can see your bhakta and at least chant your name of Krishna. Body, I can't get attached. Anything can happen anytime. I have to leave. Krishna wants me to leave. I have to leave. You cannot save me, Mataji. So like that, we cannot save, whatever you are trying to save. We don't have control. The one thing that we have control over is that whatever breathing Krishna has given to us, whatever resources we have given, in a very refined way, we can use it to provoke, to awaken our consciousness. If we are not doing that, then that is the bigger misuse than any other things that are being misused. So that's my recommendation. That's not my recommendation only, that's my kind of ways of seeing, understanding the Shastra. Focus on your purpose. Distraction will exist, and we cannot basically solve all the distraction. That's the nature of the material world. Dukhalayam shashvatam. Bhukta, bhukti artham, mukti artham. This material world is designed for two purposes, for bhukti and for mukti. For one who wants to enjoy, it's bhukta artham. It provides all the facility for them to enjoy. But mukti artham also, the one who wants to be liberated, it provides all the means to be liberated too. So now, are we going to see as a bhukti artham or mukti artham? Our goal is to look at mukti artham. Everything that is existing here, how can I use that for my liberation? So yes, I also see that, but I just, what did they treat me, let them treat whatever, whatever they think that I'm ugly, I'm, murkha, I do not know anything. That's okay. I mean, why I have to be attached to all those things? One thing that I always have to be attached to, how much I love my dear Lord Krishna, you know. And don't, one of the other thing that also I would like to request, there is some time, that our acharyas have recommended And this statement might not make much sense to you now, but maybe later it will make sense. A person who is really serious for their purification, their chanting, their reading, their devotional activity, everything that they do for one purpose. It's all of these components should support one goal. So if I, and how to say, present that thing a little bit more clear. All of us are born in a Hindu family. I'm also born in a Hindu family. I've heard the name of Durga, Kali, Krishna, Ram, Shiv, everything, all that, all that thing exists there, out there. I have heard everything. But my consciousness, I myself started changing when I formally started practicing Krishna consciousness. I quit meat eating. I quit smoking and drinking. I quit low behavior. I started chanting name of Krishna. I started reading his Shastra. I started putting my time into it, understanding the different aspect of it, and I can see that I am progressing. I have a different understanding of this world than it was before. So just that focus is enhancing me to proceed faster. So when we say that don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, it's not to tell that this is lower or not to put in a different way, the way normally people criticize or why you are saying that we do. This is all basically going to take too long of a time for you to come to the conclusion of it. So the name that you chant, Hare Krishna, why I should not chant? The name that we are chanting, name of the Krishna. The Shastra that we are reading is talking about Krishna. The devotional service that we are doing, those are the services that is engaged or it's for Krishna. The charity that we are doing for Krishna. The knowledge that we are gaining about Krishna. So all of these things together, how much it's helping you awaken your consciousness, right? So that's how you have to see. We are not criticizing. People think that, oh, you don't do this, you don't do this. It's not about don't. There are so many things to be done, but how many things I can do? But if I focus, then I'll progress faster. So that's, if one is focused on Krishna's bhakti, then all of these qualities, which are individually very difficult to get, will manifest at due course of time. That is why focused bhakti, very, very focused, not too much distraction. I have Sardha for this, I have Sardha for that, I have Sardha for that, not contradicting with the teaching of the Acharyas. Whatever commentary they have given, whatever process they have given, just follow that and you will see huge change will happen. And then at some point, once you get little higher, 30 story, 50 story, then you can see the entire neighborhood very clearly. What is the height of everybody's house? What is the details of their house and everything? But in order for you to know that, you have to go at least to 50 story, 60 story, exactly that phenomena. So let's quickly elevate one's consciousness very high towards Krishna. Then everything, Prakriti, Atma, Paramatma, everything, the dharma, different dharma, different practices, everything will start making sense. So in nutshell, all of the secondary quality will manifest if we focus on primary quality, Swarup Lakshana, which is devotional service, unalloyed, annavilasita shunyam, Gyan karmadhyana avritam, no other desire, Vasudevam sarvamiti samahatmana sadurlabha. My dear Lord, let me be your servant. And that's how we can purify our consciousness. So what I would like to do now, till chapter is over, and can we, oh, this is beautiful verse. यस्यस्ति भक्तिर भागवती किंचन सर्वैर गुणस्तत्र समस्ते सुर हरो अभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथेना sati dhavato bahi. This is the one. Yashati bhakti, whenever whoever is engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at the course of time, all the good quality will manifest in them. But one who is bimukh, who is manorathena, flying on the chariot of mind in an outer sphere, he would never come to this stage, and he would never develop even a single good quality. But if one is, this is powerful statement. There are some of the good qualities. So we'll talk about some of this later when we get into uh, Nectar of Devotion, which is one of your book for this course. So we'll discuss more. So let us focus more on devotional service. The Supreme Lord pinpointed without distraction, and in due course of time, our life will change. Chapter 12 is over now. Module 2 is over. Now, 13th chapter means we are starting a third module. So I would like to know what is your thought process? Let's 5 minutes. Should we have exam? If yes, then when we should have? It's better if you can keep on going, and then get it done. Move to next one. That way you are done. You don't have to worry. So maybe after 2 or 3 weeks from now, I'm fine. Whatever time you'd like to take, but we can have the exam. I mean, whoever gave the exam last time, I looked at their score. All of you did excellent, very high score. Oh, yes, very, very good score. I'll put it, once I'm done on the Google Calendar so that you can see your score with some of the comments. So today is, what is date today? 11th or 4th? 4th. So we can do exam on 25th. No, it's Thanksgiving weekend. Maybe 2nd December. It gives you complete 3 weeks to study in parallel. Is it okay? December 2nd.
We have to submit homework also, Prabhu, before
And
exam.
then I'll send the homeworks. And yeah, that's a good point. I'll submit all the homeworks today if I get time. On the Yes. So we have to submit the homework. Good point, Mataji. All the homeworks has to be submitted before. And homework, if you do, your preparation is done. That's what it is. So second is good, or should we move it to 9? What?
Well, I think I need some more time because somehow or other I was not up to speed with the homework. So it's
Yeah, I see that nobody is submitting the homework right now. I don't know why, but it happens. This course is sometimes too much, right? Devotee feel like there is too much that they have to do. But it will give you the habit to give more time. I think I learned a lot from this course, really. So this will give you, or it will teach you how to spend time thinking, reading Shastra, making notes, all of those things we do in academic world. But when it comes to devotional service, we think that it's not needed. You know, just temple चले गए, प्रसादम खाया, आज कीर्तन किया, that's sufficient. But this is giving a different dimension, which is being more thoughtful, more thinking, preparing like exam, giving. This is very good, very good. In fact, I personally think it's very good. That's why I'm investing my time into it, because It's studying Shastra systematically, flow what Krishna is saying, discussing. Otherwise, becomes here little bit, there little bit, there little bit, knower of everything. What they say, jack of all the trade, master of none. Something like that. So it's nice to be a little bit. You have to also. It's my humble request. Don't take it light. It will help you. In physics there is a word is called escape velocity. If you leave something, at that velocity, then it will cross the gravitational field, and then it will not come. So like that. This should serve as escape velocity. It should push you so fast or in such a nice way that you find, oh, now I'm here. So, but that required little bit commitment, little bit, help from your side to yourself, and it will be pretty good. I see Soumya Mataji is here. Hare Krishna. She has finished, I think, entire Bhagavad Gita, right, Mataji? Previous batch. Oh, I can only see her video, can't see her audio. I don't know why. Maybe she's here or not. I don't know. So think about the date, Prabhuji, okay, Matajis? And if you are not ready this week, we can talk next week. But we should uh, work on the homework and think about the next exam. Meanwhile, I'm going to post homework. Brinda Mataji, do you remember how many homework I have posted in the Google class?
Up to 8 you posted, Prabhuji.
Only up to 8, huh?
Yeah.
So 9, 10, 11, 4.
12. Yeah.
I'm going to do all of that today. Let me do it right now. I'll do it quicker. So please work on that. Take your time. So from next class, you can get into 13th chapter. Good. Is it good?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as you said, Prabhu, I mean, we have to focus and prioritize.
Very important.
Even devotional service, we have to prioritize. The homework part is lacking, so giving exam without homework is not possible. Um, I'm feeling like end of December. I don't know. I'm in
Let me
India
know.
now. Yeah.
You are in India right now?
Yes.
Oh, it's night there.
Mm.
11, 10:30.
Yes. 10:30.
Oh, Dhanwad bro. Yeah, I could not make it this year, but normally in Kartik month I go. But next year I'm not gonna fail.
I don't know
Okay.
about others.
So everybody thinks last week of December. Veera Mataji, you did very good last time. Don't drop. Just stay with. You'll do pretty good. Just to give you the word of encouragement. If you want me to send you a score, I can send. But you did very good. I looked at your. Yeah. Please don't drop. Well, very easy. You have gone through it, you have studied it, and if you do the homework, you'll be able to answer most of the questions. Not to the point, but 60% is what you need. So if your answer is 60% correct, that's good. That's good enough. 100% is if you want to get the 85 plus, right? What it's called. I don't know what is that particular category. I'm forgetting right now. But
Prabhuji, if we have the previous examinations assessment or any comments, maybe that would be helpful for upcoming test also. How we are thinking or a little bit prepare better. The way that is one more thing. Just I wanted to know,
so you want to
Prabhuji.
see your score. That's what you were saying.
Score or any comments? You said maybe comments. Do you have any comments like uh, to
I mean, I looked
means?
at most of the answers and it looked pretty good to me.
So
Okay.
just follow the same format that you had in your previous exam.
Okay. That sounds good.
I mean, every one of you had 80 plus. That's how I see. Some of the essays are so nicely written. Wow.
Prabhu, this time, what are the shlokas on each chapter, Prabhuji? Have we?
Yeah, so I have to go through that one again, remind what are the slokas, the exam format, and everything.
Yeah, if you have some list, it is easy.
Yeah, yeah. The list is already sent as a course material. If you look into your module 2 coursework, it should be there. The list of
Shlokas
horse. Yes,
Prabhuji.
Mata. Yes, yes. But if not, then please let me know and I can work on it. But you should have the list of verses that we have to memorize. Yes. I'll look at that today. JBC College, Bhakti Bharava Education System. This is the one. Anything before we adjourn?
Prabhuji, also can you able to upload the recordings for our sessions, Prabhuji? Whatever we missed, maybe we need to
Yeah,
cover.
yeah. I have.
Including
I recorded this one, and I'll see what are the previous recordings I have, and then I'll try to upload them. But I think most of you have been, on every classes. So if you are, I can't track which one you are not here, Mataji. So if there is any specific class that you want to listen the lecture on, then I would like to get that done for you ASAP. So
Can
that
you upload this recording? Maybe I missed initial portion. So and
on
yeah,
this
I
one,
think in between 9 or something, 9 I missed because I'm in India that time and I missed
okay.
some of them. So
I think those are uploaded.
okay, let me see.
Please
Prabhuji.
go and see. 9th chapter, I think I have uploaded everything. 9 or
Okay.
10th, some of the 10th is also uploaded. But one thing that I can do right now, as soon as I'm done, I'll upload the homework for 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 of those I need to do. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Appreciate your association. Kalpataru Vesha Kripa Sindhu Vyayavasha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Hare Krishna Mataji. Hari Bol, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you,
Krishna
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Dandavat Hari Hari.